Hey kids, it's me, LeAnne, with happymailbyleanne at gmail.com. Today, how many of you have ever seen box card sets like this in the store? They come with, this one's very old, but they come with different styles. It usually shows you on the back, like if you look here, there's all the different patterns, and I don't know about you, but sometimes I really don't know what to do with these. So today I'm going to show you one of the things that I've done, and it's also going to be a Stamp Your Stash. We're going to use this Coincidence is God's Way of Performing Miracles Anonymously stamp from 1998, Stampin' Up. This is one of my favorite quotes, because I believe there are no coincidences, that all things are miracles from God in that kind of situation. And with that, let me tell you the story you have asked for, and that is the story about how my husband and I met. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to take a piece of vellum that I've cut down to 5 1/4 by 4, so that when I put it on the card, it has a border. And then I'm going to stamp my image on it. And I'm going to use StazOn because I'm using vellum, and StazOn doesn't smear on the vellum, but you do have to let it dry. So I have several that I've already pre-stamped today that are just sitting here drying. Because I'm making a set for a fellowship that I've been involved in. Anyway, so let's talk about how my husband and I met. I was dating pretty heavily, actively dating lots of different people from different dating websites, and one of those dating websites was called BBW Cupid, which stands for Big Butt Beautiful Woman Cupid. It's a fat girls dating site. And you know, I weighed over 300 pounds at the time. I still do weigh over 300 pounds, but I weighed over 300 pounds at the time, and was a big girl, still a big girl. I had dated someone who said he wanted to marry me, and we were like giddy over each other. There's that. I'm going to set it aside to dry. We were giddy over each other, and we went hiking, and on the hike I got winded, and getting winded caused me to have an anxiety attack, and he flipped out. My anxiety attack caused him to have a PTSD disorder or episode, because he had an ex-girlfriend who, when she had an anxiety attack, would literally attack him. So he broke up with me that day because I had an anxiety attack, and I'm like, okay, I'm done with men. Like, this is ridiculous. This guy's gonna break up with me over me having an anxiety attack. I'm doomed. There's nobody out there for me. Which, yeah, I know breaking up with me over an anxiety attack seems a little ridiculous, but I'm glad it happened, because he obviously wasn't the right person for me. This is a roll of tape, double-sided tape from scrapbook.com, and I don't know how many yards is on here, but it's 4 inches wide, so it's perfect for when you're doing something like this, because it doesn't show. Vellum is very difficult to adhere without showing what where your adhesion is, where your adhesive is. So I'm just gonna square this on here as best I can. It's never perfect. It's pretty darn near perfect. So I was done. I gave up men. I was just fed up and ready to be finished with men. Reconciled myself to be single and happy as a single person, because I was happy even though I was single. And a few days later, I went to a coffee date with my friend Amy. Amy's a New Yorker, and she says it like it is. I love Amy. Amy is just a wonderful lady. But while we were at our little coffee date, I told her what had happened and that I was done with men, and that I was done. I was not going to date anymore. I was just going to be single. And I swear, she begged me. She said, "There's someone for everyone. Just one more time. Just try one more time." So I told her I would. And I reluctantly went back on BBW Cupid, and that was the only website I went back on. You know, I previously had been on, it's getting sticky. I had previously been on several dating websites, but I decided I liked BBW Cupid the best because I didn't get hate. I didn't get hate messages like, you know, some guy once said to me something about that I should go to the gym, and I just, like, they say rude things. They just do. They just say rude things. They're immature little boys. So we're gonna stick this on here like this. So I went on BBW Cupid, and the next day my husband messaged me, and he was 55, white-haired, very handsome-looking man, and he was very polite. And I at first was like, I don't know. And I looked at his profile, and it was very basic profile. And I looked at his age. He was 55. And I thought, he's 55. Greg was 55, and he was fun in the sack. So, this guy will probably be fun in the sack because he's 55. So, I'll give him a chance. I usually edit that part of the story for people because they don't need to know that I was promiscuous, but I was very promiscuous for a long time. Yeah, I gave my husband a chance because Greg was fun in the sack. And I messaged him, and, you know, we started talking, and we went on a date the next day, and I fell in love immediately, but was scared to death because of my past experiences. There's a little bubble in here, and I can't get it out. And I can't find my, let's see, I've got a little, there we go. I was scared. I was scared that he was going to hurt me, that I was going to end up in the same situation. But, you know, on our first date, here's the thing. When you're interested in somebody that you've met online, you text a lot and talk on the phone a lot before you meet. And at least that's what I do. So we were texting and talking a lot. And we decided to go on a date, and we decided to go on a date the day after we met online. And I didn't normally let guys pick me up at my house. I normally would meet them somewhere in public, but I felt really comfortable with Kevin. And for some reason, I was like, sure, come pick me up at my house. Oh, nuts. So he came to the door and rang the doorbell, and I opened the door, and there he stood with a vase full of red and white roses, and with a great big grin on his face. Like, he has this most beautiful smile. And my heart just, I fell in love with him in that very moment without knowing that I fell in love with him in that very moment. If you've ever had something like that happen to you, you know what I'm talking about. I was very apprehensive at first, and my sister kept telling me, well, is he giving you any indication? Like, is he doing anything that's a red flag? Nope, there's no red flags. There's been no red flags. He didn't push me for sex, which was really good, because that annoys me. I don't like it when men do that. He was a gentleman through and through. He did tell me later that when he went to get the roses and he told the ladies at the florist that he wanted red and white roses for a first date, they were like, are you sure? Do you know what red roses means? And he's like, yep. I'm sure. So it just was, we went on our second date the next day. He took me to the dentist and took care of me after my dentist appointment, and we have literally been inseparable ever since. We went on our first date on January 29th, which was my dad's birthday, and on February 4th I bought a car. And as I was going home from buying the car, I texted him and I said, I love this car almost as much as I love you. And he told me he loved me too, and said that he had been waiting to tell me that he loved me because he didn't want to scare me. And you know, I said I love this car almost as much as I love you, and then went, oh shit, I sent that text. I shouldn't have said that. Like, it's too soon, you know. I thought it was preemptive. But it worked out. We've been together ever since. And we're totally in love and happy. It's really lovely. And he is, look how cute this card turned out. It's just so simple and easy. There are little bubbles that are, but it's not perfect. I don't care. It doesn't have to be perfect. Perfection's overrated. But this is an easy way to use up those cards that you buy that are the card blanks that you don't know what to do with. So if you guys have any more questions about my husband and I's relationship, how we met, our story, things that have happened to us, feel free to ask. I'm happy to share. Boy, I didn't realize this video was as short as it is. It's not even 15 minutes. So enjoy. Have a great afternoon. Much love to all of you. And thanks for watching.